What's going on? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know this is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday. It is the 6th of, oh my God, it's September. Kids are back in school, but you want to know what's going to make your day even better? If you're a kid, parent, and you're a parent like, oh my God, the kids are out of school now, or in the school now. Let's party, yeah. You know what's going to make your day even better no matter what? This podcast right here. This one is absolutely going to be one of my favorites from the year. This one had me laughing hysterically all throughout. Before we jump in it, though, I want to thank our sponsors. So first off, yes, the school year has started, but still, I know there's a lot of you guys out there, especially if you're dads. One thing you love to do is classic dad kind of thing. You love to mow that lawn, get the lawnmower, have the best kept lawn possible. But what about your personal lawn? I'm not talking about the lawn that's outside. I'm talking about the lawn that you got down there, man. You want to make sure you got the best kept lawn there, right? You want to make your outside lawn look as good as your personal lawn, or your personal lawn as good as your outside lawn. You don't want that thing wild and kept. You want that thing looking like a fairway potentially, not looking like, it's the deep rough. So how do you do this? And how do you take care of that? Well, that's where our sponsor comes in with Manscaped, the premier people, products, company when it comes to below the belt care for men. And you got a lawnmower for your lawn outside, so why not get a lawnmower for yourself downstairs? Yes, the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped will help make sure that your lawn down there looks as good as your lawn outside. So how does this happen? Well, take a look at this Lawnmower 4.0. It's got some great features. First off, you drop it in water, boom, it comes out looking just fine. Why? It's waterproof. You want to see what you're doing down there? Let me turn this bad boy on so you can see. Boom! There's a 4K LED light down there because, optimal viewing and optimal lighting is going to help you out. And it's got skin-safe technology, advanced skin-safe technology to prevent any of those nick cuts down there. You don't want to have those. You want to avoid those. So the blade that actually cuts is actually made out of ceramic, which is really cool. It works just as well as any other blade, but it helps prevent those nick cuts. You get the smoothest and best shave down there to help maintain that lawn of yours downstairs. And you want to make it happen, boom, get the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. You want to make sure that you get it at a good price, go to the website and use the code CPP at checkout to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Oh yeah. We are also sponsoring the When We Were Hungry Music Festival happening out in Las Vegas, Nevada, October 20th to 21st of 2022. My God, this is another one of those episodes that we have here where we're bringing on another band from the festival lineup that's going to be on the podcast today, and you get to go see them live. And We Were Hungry. We've had bands in the podcast that are on the lineup, such as Modern Day Escape, Outlier, Varsity, Palisades, Along Came a Spider, Saving Vice, the headliner for day 2, Secondhand Serenade. Who else have we had on the podcast? The Medic Droid has been here as well. And now today, the original Skylit Drive. Ooh, yeah. So you're not going to miss out on what is probably going to be the best festival of the year. You want to get those Warped Tour vibes back once again. You want to have the best possible time you can have at a festival in 2021. I know there's some other great festivals out there. Don't get me wrong, but you miss Warped Tour style? Oh boy, you're in for one hell of a ride with When We Were Hungry. So go get your tickets now at whenwewerehungryfestival.com. Links in the description of the podcast. Make sure you do before they sell out. Now on to our feature presentation. So, from the original A.S.D lineup, we have Joey with us on the podcast. And this one is nuts. You get to hear about how they got on the lineup, how it all came to be, and how them basically getting that offer and saying yes led to a lot of other bands knowing that this was an absolutely legitimate thing. We also talk about with Joey, I should say, new music coming from the original A.S.D lineup. And you get to hear the passion in his voice on this. They're not cutting any corners. They're not taking, no for an answer. This is going to be one hell of a absolute barn burner of a record when it comes out. You're not going to want to miss out on it. Oh, no, you're not. But also, the stories that are told here, stories that involve Dee Snider, Crazy Las Vegas, Craig Mabbitt, Jonny Craig, the Sykes family. Yes, Oli Sykes, and even Ian Sykes, his dad. Yeah, these are some absolute crazy stories, but they're all fantastic and just show you how great the music scene is and just how closely connected these people are and just how, my God, this is just like family, man. I love this stuff. So please welcome Joy from the original A.S.D to the podcast. Are you ready? Because I am. Let's go! Yeah. Well, it's been boys and girls listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. As you know, we are sponsoring the When We Were Hungry Music Festival. And one thing we want to make sure this festival is the absolute biggest success possible is get you to know as many of the bands as possible on there. So we're bringing as many bands as we can from the festival onto the podcast. You guys be like, oh shit, we need to listen to them. Oh shit, we need to, hang out with them. Oh shit, we need to go to the festival. And when they're first starting, really kind of getting the announcement lineup came out, this was one of the first bands that was on that announcement. So, right now, please welcome Joey from the original A.S.D to the Chord Progression Podcast. So, Joey, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Thank you for having me, brother. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here, and happy we're not going to get a cease and desist letter after that intro.
Jesus.
I wanted to throw that in there just real quickly. But outside of that, man, how's everything going in life? How you doing? And, how's life treating you as, you're back to playing shows, original A.S.D, just everything back coming into music? How's everything been going, man?
Dude, it's been going good, man. I mean, we've been playing shows and we've been wanting to do this for like 10 years plus since it's been 15 years almost since we played with Jordan anyway. So it's good to get everyone back. We've all stayed somewhat close throughout the years, and just to be able to fit in these shows, doing like fly dates and specific festivals and stuff. We're not currently able to do full tours because we all got like kids, wives, jobs. It's a little too heavy for tours right now, but I couldn't have wished for anything more at this time in my life after the pandemic and everything, so it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at your life right now. It's like, wives, kids, like you said, today you were swimming with your 2-year-old son, teaching him how to swim. Yep. And now you're playing shows again, playing music, working on stuff with the original lineup for A.S.D, and just really getting to just get back with your friends once again, playing shows and just enjoying life to the fullest, man. I mean, what could you want more in life than living life to the fullest the way you want to?
Maybe like a jet ski and like something, I don't know. Dude, no, everything is great, man. I can't complain, I don't like to ever compare to what it could be if something was better. So I just live in the moment and I appreciate it and I love it all. It's awesome.
Hey, man, you never know what happens if all of a sudden we're out when We Were Hungry Festival and all of a sudden someone hits like a $10,000, $12,000 jackpot at the casino. Next thing you know, day 2, you guys will be out there and here we come with a jet ski. It's like, dude, hey, Joey, we got you a fucking jet ski, man.
Yeah, a comedian once said that money can't buy you happiness. And he said, yeah, it can, because you can buy a bunch of fucking jet skis. And he's all, have you ever seen anyone unhappy on a jet ski before? And I was like, no, that's hella true.
Oh, dude,
I loved that.
You're right. I mean, I'm even thinking about it too. Like the times I've been up north and it's like, okay, I've been on a jet ski. I've never been unhappy. I've always been, loving it. Just, okay, you got some of those like wake boats, like trying to like create the big weights for the wakeboarders.
Oh, yeah,
just, like,
of course,
I see, if I'm on a jet ski, I see that my little cousin's on the back. I'm just like,
yeah.
Woo! And I try and hit it as hard as possible. My whole goal is to make my cousin like almost fall off, but not fall off. Because the last thing I would do is want to take it back to my aunt and uncle's house and be like, why is your little cousin all wet? Funny story. I threw him off the thing. I don't want to have to answer that question, even though the kid would absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah. That's why you don't even tell anyone about that. You just go with it, man. Sometimes things are better left unsaid. It's fun.
At that point, I'd be like, okay, we're going to have to stay out here for another hour. And you're going to have to, like, while we're riding, go like 50 miles an hour, have your arms out like this. We're going to air dry you.
Right in the sun, dude. Just soak it up.
Just absolutely enjoy it. But again, taking a look at as we had just gotten out, like basically through the pandemic, as we've gone through that whole entire period of time where we didn't really know anything that was going on, seeing where you've come out of it with, again, happy family man with your kids and playing shows once again with your friends. I mean, man, if someone said, like, you always hear people like, oh, how you doing? Oh, just living the dream. Like, you're saying that. You're not saying, like, the classic, oh, living the dream. My life is actually terrible. You're like, living the dream, man. And yeah, that's the case.
Hey, the pandemic, bro, I'm not even kidding. Like, I know a lot of people had hardships and stuff, but for me personally, it was like the best time of my life, bro. Like, my job that I had, it's an amazing job for it was a tech company, and we did payment processing, and I was a quality lead manager for them. I had a sick ass job, made a good amount of money, worked from home, dude. And literally the easiest thing I've ever done. It came naturally to me, but they closed down because of COVID. And when I ended up getting like max unemployment plus the 600 a week they're giving you extra on top of it. And my fiance, the same thing happened to her. And when it closed down, the next day was when I was supposed to go on my leave for having a kid for 3 months, anyways. So it closed down. I ended up making more, like about the same, if not a tiny bit more money per week. And I was there for like 6 months. Then I started working at FedEx, So it was, for me, it was like the best time I could have had with my kid. I got 3 extra months. I made the same amount of money. It was awesome.
And now you have those memories, with your kid being born, especially in like those early infant stages where, if it was without the pandemic, you might have been gone for a good amount of those times working, trying to make money, make sure you're supporting your wife and your kid.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, you're able to enjoy that time and really take focus on it. And of course, the pandemic, I know there's a lot of the political parts around there with like, the unemployment's up to $600 a week. And I looked at like, if you had a chance to get that and it was going to better your situation, economically, why wouldn't you take that?
Dude, the fucking government fucks us so much anyway. Like, what's a couple months, dude, of some extra money that's not taxed? I was like, fuck it. I think we all deserve that sometimes. And it fell into my lap. It's not like I quit my fucking job and took it, So it's kind of just like forced upon me, which thing to happen to a lot of people, But my kid, the doctor told me that this like 2-year area, the kids are called coronials. That's like their group. So we're like millennials or whatever, Then there's like Generation X or something after it, I think. And then
Gen Z.
Gen Z, that's what it is. I was just thinking WWE/F in my head. Yeah. And which I'm a big fan of, by the way. And I was all coronial. I was all, that's fucking cool, dude. You're like the only two-year gap in history that got one during a fucking pandemic, It's pretty cool.
You're gonna have this like 2-year generation when normally it's like 15, 20 years, because kind of take a look at it. It was just taking a look from the past. You had the greatest generation, the generation of likely like your grandparents, your great grandparents, the ones that went through the Great Depression and World War II. Then you had the baby boomer generation, which happened after that. Then it was Gen X, and then it's we're in the millennial stages. And like when I looked at the cutoff, like I'm at the absolute like youngest end of the millennial stage. I'm just like,
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, then what? I don't know what I am. I'm 34.
You would fit in you'd be in the millennial side of things. So I think the millennial generation started around like if you're born in like 82 or 83, I want to say.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, for sure.
So it'd be like you were like graduating like the oldest people were like graduating high school right when Y2K was supposed to happen. But of course,
oh man,
we're here. We're talking on Zoom, so clearly the computers didn't try and kill us yet.
Yeah, I know, dude. I remember swimming in an apartment complex when Y2K happened. Everyone's like, the power's supposed to go out for like 12 months or something. And I was like, as a kid, I was like, bro, there's no way that's going to happen. Never happened. I was like, all right, cool.
I'm pretty sure I'm like, I just want to watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, I was like, dude, just let me fucking watch Pokemon and Power Rangers. Like, easy on this whole technology thing. I was like irritated back then with conspiracy theories, I was like, come on. Some are good, but some are bad.
So, some are good, and some of the ones are like, okay, that actually is very plausible, makes sense. But there's some that are so far out there, like, really, because you saw like an image like in a cloud, it's like you think that means like this insane concept, and that's like your basis of evidence. Come on, like that's just weird.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but there's a couple that I'm like really into, bro, that people really judge me for. I'll tell you after the podcast because I can't say it online, I'll get roasted, bro.
Okay, fair enough. I do want to hear some of these though, because I'm very curious about it. And don't worry, I'm not gonna roast you for those. I might be like, wait, what the actual hell are you talking about?
That's what you say now, dude. But you'll roast. I'm telling you, just wait.
I'll probably laugh a little bit, but I like there's some like conspiracy theories I look at too. I'm like, they might be really weird, but for some reason, there's got to be some sort of like plausible reason for it. If there's like potential for some evidence, like okay, that might actually be true.
I got the evidence, bro.
Maybe we'll go and take a look down it. But if your evidence is just like the formation of a cloud, I'm like, really?
Nah, dude. I'm better than that. He
does
it all, man.
He does his homework. He has PowerPoint presentations ready. Conspiracy theories by Joey.
Yeah, definitely. I'm down. I should do a podcast on that, dude. Just like wild teacher-esque ones, but in this exact room. Hell, sweating because it's 106. Fuck.
You get that full entire like real mad scientist or like the History Channel meme of the guy that's just like aliens, like go full on for that for a podcast. It might actually work.
That guy was a teacher at Santa Barbara, dude, at UC Santa Barbara, and my ex-girlfriend Lynn went there. And I remember being like, you've seen that guy? And she's like, yeah, he's hella famous. And I was like, I gotta come see him. Never found him. But
Ah, darn. I mean, then you never know what would happen. Maybe you would have met up with them. All of a
mhm,
sudden, you guys could have been going absolutely nuts. You could have been this wild conspiracy theory guy instead of playing with the original A.S.D right now. You
dude,
never know where your life might have gone from there.
what could have been, bro? I think about that stuff a lot, but you know,
But I mean, again, take a look at where you are now. Wife, kid, teach your kid how to swim, and playing shows
yep,
with your friends once again. I mean, maybe
yeah, dude.
seems like your life turned out to be in the lane that you want to be in right now.
Yeah, dude. I'm looking at the lineup right now for the When We Were Hungry festival. And to be honest with you, like the band The Hire, huge one for me, dude. Huge one. Ann Arbor. I was actually in a band called Ann Arbor years before that band came out because our drummer was from Ann Arbor, Michigan. We'll get into that later. Alisana, probably my best friends on earth. Love those guys. We talk all the time. We have a group chat together. Love them. Who else, man? Scarlett O'Hara. I was there on their first tour they ever did. So this is cool, man. I get to go hang out with some people that I have a lot of good memories with, and you can't trade that shit for anything.
Oh no, you can't. And like the other people that I've been talking to that have or be on the lineup from this podcast, it's like they're looking at the lineup even when we're on here. They're like taking a look. It's like, oh man, this band is playing. And it's just like everyone's getting excited because every band that's on there either knows like at least five or six bands that are on the bill already that have some sort of connection with them that you might not have
Mm-hmm.
seen in years. It's like, okay, we finally get to see these people play shows, these people hang out with these people. Or you might get to see a band that you've always wanted to see. It's like, but I never got a chance to. Like when I had John from Secondhand Serenade on, I was talking
Mm-hmm.
about how Black Flag was headlining day one, and he didn't even know that Black Flag was headlining day one at that
Dude,
point.
I'm
Like
so
he
okay.
freaked
I
out.
I love the day we're on. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But like I don't get to meet Henry Rollins, bro. Come on. I've read that dude's books. I've watched his documentaries. I love Black Flag. I love that. What was the Sons of Anarchy, dude? Season one? He's like one of the main bad guys. Come on. Dude's such a pimp. I fucking love him, man. That's a cool dude. His books are awesome. If you haven't checked him out, check him out, man.
You might just have to come early, man, and just enjoy both days.
I honestly might, dude. I might. I don't want to be that hungover though for our show the next day. That's for sure. No
Okay,
way. No
fair
way.
enough. That is
Yeah.
very fair enough because that's kind of the conundrum that I'm looking at myself. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know day one I'm gonna go absolutely bonkers, but what's gonna happen after the show is over? Like I know there's the after party, but I don't know like what other bands are gonna be there. Who knows who I might run into? It's like, hey, we're gonna go to this casino. You want to come through? I might be like, okay, I'm on vacation mode. Who cares? And I might wake up the next morning like,
Dude.
okay, how am I gonna get through this?
I had one of my worst nights of my life in Las Vegas, dude. Can I tell you the story?
Yes, yes.
It's pretty inappropriate. I'll be
I,
honest too. I don't care about anything
oh,
anymore.
oh, I've heard some really insane, wacky, fucked up stories that are probably inappropriate for like any situation, but I love hearing them and I love putting them on this podcast. So bring it on.
Okay. All right. So we were playing at House of Blues in Vegas and we were direct support for Escape the Fate, right? Now, I'm going to leave out some details to make it like legal. There was a hotel party afterwards, okay? And I don't remember who threw it or who was there, but it was in this like massive, like 7 bedroom suite. And in the middle of the living room, there was like a heart shaped bed doing like circles, like on a motor. And dude, I'm only maybe like 22, 23 at the time. And dude, I'm telling you, I've never seen shit like this before. There's like really inappropriate things happening on the bed when I walk in. I go in the bathroom, or there's a little bathroom party going on. There's girls in the shower with stripper poles in the shower with water on, stripping. And I lost my ID 2 nights before. Okay. So everyone at the party's like, we rented a bus. We're going to a strip club. And I was like, fuck, I can't go to a strip club. And everyone's leaving. So I can't stay in this suite that I'm not in or anything. And I'm like the only person there apparently that didn't have an ID. And I was like, whatever, I'll go back to our bus. And I go outside and I'm fucking plastered, like blacked out, right? And I remember walking down the road and I was like, where's my bus at? And I see everyone leaving and I was like, oh no. And I look at my phone, dude, and my phone's dead. And I was like, oh shit. Like, where the fuck am I gonna, like, I'm wandering on Vegas drunk. I was like, I'm probably gonna get arrested. I had my credit card on me though. So I found a hotel, and when I walked in the hotel, there was no one at the front desk. So I sat down on the couch in the lobby, and I passed out, dude, on the couch in this lobby. And this dude woke me up and was like, "Bro, you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "If you don't like get a room or leave, I gotta call the cops on you, bro. And I don't want you to get arrested, you know." And so I was like, "All right, here's my credit card." I just laid on the couch, dude. I was like, "Wake me up when you get my room. Take me there, whatever." And I get in the hotel room, bro. And I don't know why I did this, but I grabbed a trash can and I sat it in front of my door. So my door was wide open all night. And I fell asleep on the top of the bed, on top of the comforter, butt naked. And I don't know why, but I laid my clothes down on the floor like I had evaporated. Like I took my pants off and laid them down and put this shirt above it. And when I woke up in the morning, dude, my phone and my wallet was gone. So someone came in the room, stole all my shit while I was just naked on a bed with all my clothes in front of it on the floor. And I had to make like a collect call or whatever from the phone. And I told the guys, I was like, "Bro, where's the bus at?" And they're like, "Oh, we're right behind this hotel." And I looked at the fucking phone, and it was the hotel that I was at, dude. And I really like looked out my window, and our fucking bus was right there. I was like, "Oh my God." Like I spent like $500, lost my ID, all my credit cards, everything. So that was my first real big Vegas trip, dude. So I mean, I've been back since then. I've definitely held it together. But when you're like, you first turned 21, dude, Vegas is fucking crazy, you know?
Oh God, I mean, I've heard some
Yeah.
crazy Vegas stories. That one's only one of the more interesting ones of just wandering to a hotel and all of a sudden looking like you evaporated and getting shit stolen because you forgot to close the door.
Yeah. I have like glimpses of it. I walked back to the bus and I was like, oh my God. Everyone's like, "Where'd you go?" I was like, "Stayed in a hotel." They're like, "Next to the bus?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I don't know." They're like, "You have a key to the bus." I was like, "I know this. I just didn't know where the fuck it was. I was a little disoriented, you know? I'm not good at directions, dude. So, like, what would you want me to do? I didn't write down the street we were on or nothing, you know?
Or write down the hotel name that you guys were staying behind, even though you ended up there anyway. Just
See, I would do that shit now because now I'm like responsible with everything. But back then, nah, dude. 22-year-old Joey, fucking not even thinking, you know?
I'll say so. Then that had been like around like 2000, what, like 2009, 2010 then?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. I mean, and that's like when smartphones were just starting to become like a more of a known thing. So you might have still had like a flip phone at that point and just
I
like,
had a G1 or an iPhone 3GS. It was one of those. It's
oh
like
shit.
old, like right, or maybe a four. Did I have a four? It's somewhere right around there between the G1 and the iPhone 4, like right in that era.
Just so everyone, all you kids out there, it's when
Yeah,
you had your iPhone and they only had 4 rows of apps that were on the screen. Not 5, not 6, not 7. No, this was 4. It was right before they went on like, oh, it's the iPhone 5. Look, we're giving you a new row of apps.
yeah.
Whoa!
You only had the paper game where you could throw the paper into the trash can, or like the bubble wrap popping. Those are like the only apps you had. It was crazy.
And if you were lucky, you may have had Angry Birds or like the Doodle
Yeah,
Jump one. Or, if you would have downloaded Flappy Bird before they took it off the App Store, or the creator took it off the App Store, you could have sold that phone for like $9,000-$10,000 because you still
dude.
had Flappy Bird on there as an app.
I have a broken iPhone 4 with Flappy Bird on it. Still, it's broke though. I can't charge it. I didn't charge it for long enough. You know, like if you wait like a year or two, those lithium ion batteries won't charge anymore. So yeah, I had it. I used to Flappy Jump hard, bro. I worked at Apple for a while. We get iPads to come in to get fixed and stuff, and I'd Flappy Bird all day on their iPads, bro. I'd be stoked.
All of a sudden, a customer opens up, it's just like, what? Why is my high score on Flappy Bird like
Mm.
30 or 40 more? And all of a sudden, you're sitting in the back of the Apple Store.
No, I actually only had the ones that had to get fully reset. So we had a program we could do some shit to it that no one should know about. And we'd have to delete, wipe everything, do an update, fix it, blah, 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 you know? So it was funny though, but I'd be able to go in and see like what apps on a certain screen they had, you know, shit like that. But yeah, it's funny, bro. I miss those days. Flappy Bird was cool.
Yeah, I
It's
remember.
hard. It's hard.
I remember playing. I'm like, I just didn't want to download. Cause I'm like, I know how people are getting addicted to. I'm like, I just want to stay away from that. And
Yeah.
then watching like the South Park episode with the Canadian mobile gaming where they try and get the Terrence and Phillip premium game and everyone just gets like addicted to it. I'm like, yeah, I didn't want that to happen to me. And then all of a sudden have to have a fight with the Canadian devil, huh?
Dude, I fucking love South Park, man. I told my parents I was watching a cartoon. I asked if they'd buy it for me, dude, in like fifth grade or something when the South Park movie came out. And I remember that I had recorded something before with the TV turned down. And when I recorded it, it was like a normal volume still. So I put it on in our living room and turned the volume almost all the way down and recorded the South Park movie, dude, on VHS, and then took it out and had it in my room, and I could turn it up all the way and I could hear it. And that's how my parents, I grew up in a super Christian family. My dad was a pastor, so they weren't letting me fuck with anything like South Park or Simpsons growing up.
Oh, understandable. So you had to get if you're gonna get your fix of South Park, you had to do it in a super, super sneaky way.
Oh yeah, dude. Definitely. Brian White's parents were more lenient, the bass player from A.S.D. And so I'd go over there and we'd be like renting whatever movies we wanted. And I'd be like, I saw fucking Hannibal, and I'd be like 12 years old, and Idle Hands with Devin Sawa, movies like that. But I'd be like too young, can never tell my parents. So it's funny. I tell them now how much shit I did, but back then they were pretty strict, actually.
I mean, that's just kind of some way that parents are, where it's like it depends upon where their ideas are, depends upon where their like moral or pathway is, I would say. And of course,
Yeah.
they're going to raise their kids in that sort of way. And you get those kids that, they grew up in a very more sheltered, more strict, somewhat, a culturally secluded way. You also get some that are, just like, okay, go off and do whatever you want. Then you get some that's a middle ground. It's like, you gotta kind of give kids a chance to be themselves, but you also don't want, you gotta give them guidance as well as a parent. You don't want to be like, okay, go out there and figure it out, and then all of a sudden, as a young kid, you might be susceptible to something. Like with myself, it was like my parents, there was things that they didn't really want me and my brother watching, but as time went on, it's like, okay, we'll let you watch this, It kind of gradually went there, but it still doesn't beat the fact that my dad showed me this movie from the 70s called Used Cars, just about a used car lot, and this guy's trying to sell used cars. It's got like Kurt Russell in it, like really, really young Kurt Russell. I watched it when I was 3 years old. It's rated R, and like even in the 70s, you watch now, it's like, would this be rated R in today's day and age? No. Would it be rated PG-13? Definitely.
Yeah, dude, that's I relate to that totally, man. Like for me, it was more music. I grew up, my dad's super into music, mom too. She was a singer, and I remember like I always favorite bands were like Foo Fighters, Green Day, Nirvana, Blink. And I was a kid when those came out. And so I would try to get the records, but they had a parental advisory on them. And my parents would be like, let's go to Walmart. I'd be like, no, fuck Walmart, mom. Like, come on, don't do that to me. Like, it's embarrassing. And my dad would call my cousin Phil, who was like 6 years older than me. And he listened to the same music. He got me into a lot of it. He gave me my first like Korn record, my first Millencolin record, all this shit. So he got me really into this stuff. And he would tell my dad, like, oh no, it's not bad, dude. They just sing about some like shit that, like Green Day sings about like jerking off and tweaking and shit. He's like, he won't even know what the fuck that is. Like, calm down. And so I remember my dad got me Dookie, dude, when I was in like fourth or fifth grade. And my dad liked Green Day. He liked the song When I Come Around. And I remember I listened to that record till it was fucking evaporated, dude, in my fucking CD player. But I'd be so stoked. I'd be like, man, I'm only in fifth grade. I have fucking parental advisory records. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'd be so stoked.
And I mean, you take a look at like kind of that whole entire PRMC thing that happened in the 80s, and all of a sudden Dee Snider and his whole entire thing with Congress, and how bands wanted to get that parental advisory sticker on there. It's like, oh yeah, this is bad, and all of a sudden it's like, but no, that's what the kids want to listen to. So many bands like strive to get that on their albums at that time for that reason. So, but even when you listen to it, it's like, I listen to this stuff that had that parental advisory stuff, and I'm like, how is this bad? Like,
that's what I'm saying, dude. I actually have a really good Dee Snider story since you said that.
I
have a couple of them.
Oh, dear God. Yes.
So Dee Snider's son and daughter were like crazy as Skylit Drive fans, right? And the first time we played, not the first time, maybe like the second or third time we played like Manhattan, like we're in New York City somewhere. We got there and the promoter was like, hey, you guys got to load in, and then you have to do like a meet and greet with Dee Snider. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, dude, I fucking love Twisted Sister, bro. So I was like, oh my God. And me, I was partying a lot. So I had a couple drinks. I was like, let's go have a couple drinks, go meet Dee Snider. And he was like, would you mind giving my kids some merch and shit? And we're like, bro, no problem. And they were already wearing the Skylit Drive stuff at the time. And so I was like, all right, cool. And nicest dude I ever met, bro. Honestly, such a sweetheart. Talked to us about music forever. Got all our names. Was super just like I want to say like sympathetic. Like he knew he's like, I know being a band's hard, bro. Like he was just so nice. His wife was super nice. I made the mistake of picking her up when I hugged her and like spun her around, and he slapped me on the arm and said, "Easy on my wife, bro." And I was like, "Okay, no problem, Dee Snider. I'm sorry." I was like, "She's pretty though," and he's all, "I know, so I married her." And his kids are super cool though. At the time, they're probably like I don't know, like 13 and 11 or something. And we played a Warp Tour a couple years later, and we're playing fucking the Ernie Ball stage. So it's 2011. We got hosed that year. They didn't want us, so we were like, we'll play Ernie Ball. Fuck it. And he was side stage, bro. And like in between our songs, he'd be like, Joey, Nick, how you doing? How's Corey doing? Remembered all our fucking names, dude. And we're playing like in the rain, bro, in like New Jersey or New York or something. And he's the only person side stage watching us, dude. It was so sick. The only person. We had hella technical difficulties, and after the show, he's like, "Happens all the time, bro. Don't worry about it." Just an absolute fucking sweetheart of a rock star, dude. Easily.
I mean, I always looked at Dee Snider in a very high regard, and now it just took it from
Yeah.
like here to here. Like, my God, it just the fact that someone of that like status, and of course someone that took on Congress basically to defend
Yeah.
music, is just out there supporting you guys, and just not only that, but doing it like in such a genuine way where all of a sudden he comes back a couple years later and remembers all your guys' names like that.
Dude, I
That
don't even know
says
if
so
his
much.
kids were there that day. I think he just rolled out to like say what's up. But there were, I mean, in '09 Warp Tour, I saw him at the catering tent and he gave us all hugs. Hella nice. Super nice, dude. I was like, damn, Dee Snider's a fucking gangster, dude. So nice.
Hey man,
Loved him.
you never know. Come October, all of a sudden October 21st, you guys be playing When We Were Hungry. All of a sudden, I might be looking side stage and be like, is
Dude.
Dee Snider over there? But I see him be like, holy shit.
Dude, I should try to send him an email or something and ask if he'll roll out, dude, just for the shits. See what he says. What's the
He
worst he could say? No, you know?
the worst he could say is no. The best thing he could say is yes. And all of a sudden he rolls
Yeah.
up there, and if that happens, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, especially Will and Mal are gonna be like, how the hell did Dee Snider get here? And all of a sudden they're gonna look at me, I'm gonna point to you and just be like, it's because of
Yeah.
that right there.
I love this guy, man. Yeah. That's funny, dude. Old Mal Levy's a sweetheart, huh? She's a cool girl.
No, absolutely. Because like when We
Mhm.
Were Hungry Festival thing started, it was like I started seeing pick up traction. I'm just like, because I've known Will since I interviewed Modern Day Escape back in early 2021, and I've kind of just kept tabs with them. And all of a sudden, I saw this stuff starting to like pop up from the original meme. So I've just been kept keeping track of it. And then I'm like, shit, I want to talk about this. I want to get more people involved with this. So I
Yeah.
had Will and Mal on the podcast, and it was just fantastic talking about seeing just like how this all came to be. I'm just like, okay, I need to support this thing any way I possibly can.
Oh yeah, dude. I like when I first heard about it and she hit me up, I was like, okay, cool. Like, you want to do a festival? I understand it's really hard to do those. And I told her, I was like, when things get all said and done and like you can make an offer, like we're down. Like, just so you know, we'll play Vegas like 8 hours from us. We don't take planes and shit, it's cheaper. And she was like, okay. And like a month later, she was like, all right, we have an offer. What's your manager number? And I was like, oh shit, this is fucking going down. And I had guys in other bands that are playing it. They're texting me and they're like, bro, is this for real? Like, cause we're not sure. And I was like, no, we just got an offer, bro. Like, and they're like, oh, you guys are playing? Well, we'll fucking play then. Cool. And I was like, all right, sick. Thank you. I was stoked on it. I was like, hell yeah, dude. It's fun to see it like come to fruition, if you will, like an idea from a meme. And then it was like, oh, now there's like fucking Henry Rollins is playing, bro.
Oh
Fuck.
god, when they added Black Flag, I was just like, because they said it was like, oh, you're gonna throw out some punk rock for day one. I'm just thinking, I was thinking like punk rock, like no matter who they were gonna get, I'm like, this is gonna be nuts. Of course, I had a band in mind. I'm like, if they would have gotten them, I would have shat my pants. But I saw Black Flag, I'm just like, okay, I kind of shat my pants a little bit because I wasn't expecting that. But holy shit, I get to throw down a Black Flag with potentially a bunch of these guys that are on the same bill, like on the bill for that day. All of a sudden, I'll be in the pit, and all of a sudden, like half the people that are playing are gonna be in the pit as well, and be like, "What's up, guys?"
That's what I'm saying, dude. Bad ball, first of all, probably I remember my freshman year in high school, this kid who was an ICP fan named Skylar Walker was his name. Okay. And he was like a junior and I was a freshman. And I was like, what's the heaviest band you listen to? And he was all fucking Madball, bro. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck. I listened to like AFI and MXPX and shit, you know? So I looked at Madball and I was like, oh, this shit's fucking hard, dude. This is tight. So I saw Black Flag and Madball. I was like, God damn it. Unwritten Law, too. Huge one for me. Mess. Really good friends with the singer, Mess Tony. Cool dude. I mean, Voodoo Glow Skulls, bro. Like, come on. I grew up on that punk shit, you know? The Dickies, dude. I saw the Dickies with fucking, oh, who'd they play with? I saw them at the Colonial Theater in Sac. Damn it, what band was it? Um, fuck. They're from Sac. I can't remember who they are right now. They're like a punk hardcore band back in the day, you know. I was like, man, good bands. The whole thing's got good bands.
Oh yeah, when I first started seeing the lineup come out, like I just started seeing bands that I had on the podcast previously start getting added to the lineup, and I've been talking to some of them too. It was like Joey Varea from Varsity. I saw him play live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, right around Memorial Day weekend, and I saw he got added to it. So like after the show, I went to go talk to him and like brought up the fact that, you know, I can't believe you guys got on the bill, and all of a sudden, hey, I'll see you there. A couple weeks later, so I was here in Milwaukee. Brand and Palisades were playing a show here. I ended up drinking with Brand the band afterwards, and I brought up, he's like, dude, I don't know how we got in that festival, but all of a sudden, like, I looked to see exactly that we were on there. I looked at the bands lineup. I'm like, he was like, this is how he put it. He's like, I don't know how we got on this festival, honestly. But after looking live, I'm like, I'm glad that we're here. So I was like, yeah.
Bro, even like Violent New Breed, Max used to be a good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a long time, you know, but I saw all this stuff and I was like, man, it's gonna be so much fun to catch up with all these dudes, you know. Rookie of the Year, great dudes. Vampires Everywhere, great dudes. Dead Rabbits, fucking great dudes. The Craig Mabbitt's the singer of Dead Rabbits, correct? Isn't that correct? Funny story about him. He'll tell this exact story too. We were looking for a new singer in between Jordan and the other guy that we picked, and me and Craig Mabbitt were in like deep talks about being in the band together, like every night, all night. And he was learning all the songs and like getting ready for tour and shit. And when he finally made his decision, he called in his phone. Joey was like, hey, call Joey. And he accidentally called the Joey who was a manager for a management company instead of me. And when the guy called and he was like, oh no, I was calling to try to be in a Skylit Drive. And he was like, well, actually, weirdly enough, we would love you for, you know, band he's in now. And he called me back and he was like, hey bro, like, Escape, I meant to call you to join your band, but I accidentally called the Escape the Fate manager to join their bit, to call you instead. And he's like, and they just like, you know, they're like a little bigger, but and I was like, I understand, bro. But I was like, what if he would have called the right Joey in that situation? Like, what would have, he would have never been in Escape the Fate. What would have happened to us, first of all? You know, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know. But it always made me wonder, like, the what if, what could have been, you know? He called the wrong person to join a band and joined a different band. First of all, that's like the universe making him join Escape the Fate, first of all, you know? But I was like, damn, bro. He called me like right after it happened. It was like, hey, I'm sorry, dude. I meant to call you, but something else happened. And I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm not even mad, bro. The odds of that are just like fucking hitting the lottery, bro. Like you have two Joeys in your phone and both of them wanted you to be in a band and you called the wrong one. Come on, you know?
Well, not that, but it was like a voice thing. It's like, hey, call Joey, and all of a sudden it called the other Joey. It's just like, then you can kind of like look at technology as part of that like conundrum as well, just leading it down to the you could not escape the fate of a joint. Escape the fate.
I know, dude. I was like, fuck, man. I mean, everything happens for a reason. Obviously, I love Craig to death, so nothing ever changed. But I was always like, man, what if, you know? Would have been fun. He's a cool dude. Good band.
It would have been crazy to see Craig Mabbitt as a part of your guys' band, but the one thing that actually just sticks on my mind from that story too is just the way that you looked at it and the way it's like, you know, look at what had happened and, you know, seeing no ill will towards it when it was just an honest mistake and it kind of, you know, potentially could have like changed the directory of your band and it changed the directory of Escape the Fate at that point at the exact same time as well. But then again, take a look at kind of where life is right now. Look at where you are right now with what you're doing. I mean, maybe this
could have all changed. Dude, my life would have been different if he called the right person. I probably wouldn't be sitting where I am now doing this. You know what I mean? So it's weird. It's like butterfly effect. It's weird to think about that. Like, what if someone called a different person? Where would your life be? You don't know. It's weird. It's weird to think about.
Yeah, because I mean, just think about just like where Craig and the band are right now, just like with how big Craig has become, not only in the music scene but also just all around. It's just it could have been nuts, but I think the big key that we're looking at too is the fact that again, you see no ill will towards him around the whole situation.
Oh,
There's
never. I love that dude, man.
I'll say there's still such a positive
Yeah.
relationship there where it's just like, okay, this is cool. Let's just roll with this. And now, who knows? All of a sudden, maybe something happens, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden, here comes Craig on a guest spot for you guys. It's just like,
oh,
shit.
weirdly enough, when Jordan left the band in the middle of our from first to last tour we were doing, we didn't have a singer, right? And we were playing at Saints and Sinners in New Jersey, and that was at the time it was like the big bands were like Glassjaw, Suicide Silence, us, Dance Gavin Dance, Shai Hulud, all these huge bands were on it, and this was like years ago, so they were even probably bigger back then, possibly. But Jonny got kicked out of Dance Gavin Dance that day, and we've like grown up with those guys in music, and so they all have our phone numbers, and they got a hold of us and said, hey dude, we had to let Jonny go, so could you guys possibly like let him work for you or give him a ride or whatever till your way back home? And we were like, okay, sure. So Jonny did merch for one day, dude, and then our singer quit the next day and went home with from first to last to the airport. And so Jonny sang for us on the rest of the tour, and that was with Escape the Fate. Oh, who was it? Silverstein Chiodos? Was that the tour? No, it was still from first to last tour. I'm sorry. That was the next one. But I don't know how, but anyway, it was Jonny, and like Craig Mabbitt did some vocal spots for us too. I don't remember like exactly the tours or what happened, but yeah, it was crazy. It was weird, dude. It was a weird time, but Jonny sang for us for like a couple weeks in a row,
Dude, that is just some absolute ridiculous shit. Like, what the hell?
We were in the van, dude, driving to the next show, and Jonny was listening to the record over the fucking car stereo. We were just cranking it, and he was like, oh, let's just like play some new songs and shit too. And so we were like learning new songs together that we'd already recorded. And because we'd already recorded Wires, I think possibly at the time. And so we'd already recorded Wires without a singer. And Jonny was doing it, dude. There was so much shit to it, but I'm not even kidding. Jonny singing for us, dude, we outsold fucking everyone in merch every fucking night. It was so sick, And we tried to get Jonny full time, but he was under contract with Rise Records, so we couldn't merge record companies, So that's how that went. But me and Jonny still talk almost daily. He's one of my best friends, so it's all love,
Oh, that is ridiculous. I've heard, like, I've had who was it? I had Matt from Moraine City Drive on the podcast, and he told me like kind of like what happened with Jonny there. So like I'm hearing more different crazy Jonny Craig stories like all over the place. And like hearing all these crazy stories and just all these crazy connections between musicians. It's just I love hearing these stories to see how everything can be so interconnected and just like how random people can just help out all these other people at different times.
Oh, dude,
and
everyone
it's just
everyone in the last 10 years of touring, 15 years of touring is just like friends of friends at that point. We all somehow are connected to each other,
Yeah, because all of a sudden
I didn't tour for like 8 years, bro, and I find people still on tour that I'm friends with that are guitar techs and weird shit. And I'm like, damn, you're still going, bro? Fuck. I've done this in a decade, bro, and you're still fucking out here at 8 a.m. organizing shit,
See, I'm hoping to get to that point too, like maybe like look 10 years down the line, all of a sudden still doing something like this and just kind of running out to just different shows and just seeing people I haven't seen like 10 years. Like, wait, you're still doing this?
Yeah,
no fucking
it's cool,
idea,
man.
This is awesome. You want a beer?
Fuck, I wish I was still doing it full time, but it's all good.
I mean, that's kind of where life goes, but I had no idea about like the whole entire thing with Jonny Craig with you guys and the whole, like the Craig Mabbitt story. Like my mind is completely blown at this point.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's kind of like all the craziness of, kind of what could have been, but then at the same point in time as well, looking at where it's led to your life now and looking at the happiness that, when you said that you were outside today teaching your 2-year-old how to swim, like,
yeah, it's beautiful.
Everything
it all works out, bro. There's so many more too. I don't want to go too hard into it, but there's so many more people that could have been, would have been, in it, but I think it all works out for the best,
It all works out for the best. And now like you guys are playing shows once again, and it's with the original lineup as well. So it's kind of like, when you say like, oh, we're getting the band back together, like you guys literally got
it's literally like when we were like
together.
17 years old, bro, like 17, 18 years old. This is what made it, bro. Like us 5 guys were like the ones who literally started the band, made the band, wrote all the music that projected the band to where it was. So like without this five, there was no band, dude. We started the band. We made the band name. We made the tours. We were the first ones to get signed. We did all this shit. Everyone else who joined it later on, cool, you joined a band. But like this was the group of dudes who fucking like put in the work, effort, and we were all best friends, dude. And like people always say, if you're doing something you love, it's not work. You know what I mean? And like if you put your heart into it, you don't really give a fuck. I think it's always going to be successful if you really love it. And I think that's what came out of a bunch of fucking stoned high schoolers, bro. We loved it, man. That we ate, slept, and like shit. Everything was Skylit Drive, dude. We were online MySpace 12 hours a day, all promoting the band every fucking day, you know, shows all day, selling tickets outside, printing our own flyers. Like you put in a lot of work, dude, especially back in 2000 and what, 4, 5, like you didn't just have like Facebook and all this shit. Like it was just like you really had to grind. You had to go pass out flyers at places and do shit, you know?
Yeah, you had to. It was you didn't have the conveniences of as much social media. I mean, you still had MySpace. So MySpace, think about 2004, 2005. It still wasn't in its full capacity like it was in like 2007. So when you guys are trying to start this stuff, it's when it comes to reaching that kind of an audience and getting people to listen to your music, you had to have more of that grassroots, boots on the ground kind of approach. Of course, today it's a lot different where a lot more people are online. It's a lot easier to discover yourself online. But the difference on that front is because it is so much easier to discover stuff, the space is so much more crowded. Yeah. So you have to kind of weed through certain things to find something you like or to make it so that you stand out more than, all the other noise that's out there.
Yeah, dude. And with technology too, the oversaturation is like crazy with how many people can make records at home, how many people can make records for really cheap now. It's not like how it used to be. You used to pay $20,000 to make a good record. Now you can spend $6,000 on gear and programs and make a sick ass record. Send it to someone to get mixed for $100 a song. It's way easier now, I feel like. But I mean, my hat's off to you. If you can do it and you can make yourself a name, you're obviously good. I think the music will speak for itself in the end,
Yeah, I think it's like one thing we put it is it might be more conducive and convenient for you to do it on your own. Yeah. But then the quality of it, like, because when you're going into a studio to record and you're having someone mix and master and you're paying them to do it, like these are people that are doing this stuff for a living, so they're gonna have to be on top of their game to do this. If you're the one that's doing it, yeah, absolutely, you're gonna be saving a good amount of that money, but you might be sacrificing that quality. So it might even be harder too because you have to take the time to learn how to do all that stuff, and then if you're able to pull it off, then my God, you succeeded on that front.
Yeah, definitely. And kids are smart, bro. They can fucking pull it off these days. Like with YouTube videos, give yourself 2 or 3 years of recording yourself. You could probably open a studio, bro. To me, that's like how it is these days. But some are better than others. I'll tell you that much. Some are way better than others, man.
There's a lot that are way better than others. There's a lot of times you have to sift through the shit to get to the goal, basically.
Yeah, you do. And what you do is you go record with those good people and you spend $40,000 on a record like we did. And you watch what they do. You learn what they do. You ask all these questions. You look at their gear. You buy the same gear. You do the same shit, It's like when you record a record, it'd be smart to consider yourself as like an intern, dude, and be like, what could I do to help? How are you setting this up? Ask questions, That's like, for me, being in a band wasn't about just playing live. For me, it was like, I want to learn how to record myself all the time. Dude, I record songs every fucking week in my room all the time, And I got like Nick Miller, from the other guitar player from A.S.D. He runs like a pretty nice studio himself. And it's all his, bro. He's got all the gear, all the shit. He's the engineer there. And so it's cool to have him as a resource, So I'm always like, bro, what's a good guitar program? What's good drums? Like, oh, tell me what's new, because he's up on the new shit, And so he'll send me stuff for free and be like, yo, it's all you need to record drums. And I'm like, damn, okay. It sounds amazing, I'm like, this rules.
But take a look at like what Nick has done with that over the past couple of years, to the point where, if with original A.S.D, if you guys are going to try, with the new iteration, or with the original iteration, I should say, record some new stuff and actually put some new stuff out there. So all of a sudden you guys kind of get this going once again.
Oh, we're recording new stuff, bro. It's there.
Woo. It's there?
It's there, bro. It's not out yet, but it's almost there, dude.
So how close is it to being done with it being almost there? And how close is it to us receiving it? Now, if there's not an exact date, if you can't give us an exact date,
I
I don't
can't
want
give
to
an
know
exact date because we're trying to record a record, not just like a single to put out, but it's probably like, I'm not even joking, dude. It's going to be like the most fire shit you've heard. Like, we're not going to put out anything that is anywhere near like, sorry, mom, ignore. We're not going to put out anything that's like near mediocre, dude. We're not going to put out anything that has like any type of this isn't the best shit we could be doing at this time in our life. We're not going to put out some random song you record overnight for some fans to try to make shit cool for your fucking Facebook page. And we're like really spending like a ton of time on lyrics. Nothing can be fucking cheesy or lame, bro. Nothing. Like there's zero chance. Every guitar part's got to be super sick, super harmonized, like super A.S.D. And how we started the band was like we were super inspired by the bands that we loved. And so we're trying to take our old style from the bands that we loved and how we sounded and like the bands that we loved to sound like now. So it's like a original A.S.D record and then like a crazy fucking technical new modern record merged. So we're trying to make something that kind of appeals to the old side and the new side at the same time. But I'm telling you, when this shit, it'll come out eventually. We are taking our time and we all have families and kids and shit. So it's not like we can be sitting in a studio for 3 weeks straight recording. So we're chipping away at it. But I'm telling you, when it comes out, bro, oh my God, it's going to fucking like wear a fucking diaper, dude. When you listen to it, you're going to be like, oh my God, what is this? You're going to shit yourself. Probably.
So should I just run to Walgreens and get some like Depends right now so that
Dude,
when you guys start releasing this stuff, like I'm prepared
bro,
already?
bro, it's so good that you'll like think, how did all those fucking weird guys record that? Like, look at them. And we'll be like, no, this was us. You'll be like, no, it wasn't. It's good, dude. Yeah. I would never put out a song just to put out a song or anything like that. Like, we could easily put out a song in like 4 days for a show to play a new song, but like, why do that? Why do something that's like not up to like we have a high standard, bro, and like we're not going to do something. We've waited 15 years to do this. We're not going to put out some bullshit, dude. No way.
And relating it back to something that you said at the beginning is when you guys first started this and you guys were grinding away on MySpace, printing out flyers, going out places, trying to promote you guys, trying to get anybody to come and see your shows to try and make this band as successful as possible. Listening to what you just said about this new record, listening to what you said about wanting to put as much quality into it, taking your time to make sure that you guys make it the way that you want to make it, and the passion that came through in your voice, reflects that, early day mentality of grinding it out, just working as hard as possible, making sure that everything fits in the way it's supposed to and sounds the way that you guys want it to sound. You're not taking any, you're not taking any shortcuts here. You're not doing things just because it might be the best idea just to get stuff out now. No. You want to make sure that when people listen to this, either they're going to have to wear diapers in those things or to shit themselves, or people are going to, have to listen to this thing anywhere near a bathroom. So anytime like they completely lose their shit, at least they can go and take care of that at that moment, come back and then do it again 3 minutes later.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, even down to like the artwork, dude, people put out shitty artwork. They put out shitty songs. They put out shitty, like, and like some of these bands I love, or I loved or whatever. And I'll hear it. I'm like, man, they're just for one tour, they put out one song that's kind of like whatever. But to me, it's like down to every single thing. Like you can't cut corners. You can't try to skate by to get some plays or anything like that. Like for me, it's worth the wait. And if you're not willing to like respect the music and respect the fans, and you're trying to skip that wait just for a few dollars and a few plays, like go fuck yourself. And so for me, it's like we waited all these years, dude, and like what's like 9 more months, bro, for a fucking sick record. Everyone, you're doing your own life, like just wait, and I think it'll be amazing. And for me, like I'm super stoked on it, dude. I don't know. I think that it's going to be such a great thing when we put out new music and be good for people and for ourselves and everything, be spiritually healing.
I can tell you're super stoked about it too. And it's
I get stoked on it, bro. Yeah.
I'll say it's not just you saying you're stoked about it. It's just when you were describing it and then talking about the process of it, the energy that was in your voice was the most hyped up, energetic thing that you said the whole entire podcast episode.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I get fired up, bro. I get fired up on it because like I may be like a family man now and I work at a job and shit, but like in my heart, it's music, dude. And like, I don't know, there's a lot of people who do music. It's not in their heart, bro. It's just for money or for plays or for fucking, you know what I mean? And like, I know people like this personally, and it's kind of always bums me out, you know? I'm like, don't do it for money, dude, or for fucking plays or for clicks, you know? Like, if you love it and you do it, then it'll be good. But if you're doing what I just said you're doing, like, no one gives a fuck, you know? And to me, it's like music's worth like listening to for a long time. It's supposed to be timeless, right? Just have records that come out and people love them 15 years later, like we did She Watched the Sky. But you're putting out these shit songs for fucking whatever, for nothing. Like, I don't know, man. You got to put it out for a reason. You got to put it out because you love it. And when you do, it's like goes a long way, dude, in my opinion, you know?
Yeah, because take a look at a lot of the bands, like with the records that they put out that have kind of become timeless. And one that's right about to reach the 10-year mark as of next year is going to be Bring Me the Horizon, Sempiternal. And
Oh
see
my
how
God.
heavily connected people still are.
Praise be, bro.
See how heavily connected people are to that record still, and how influential it was, and just the amount of passion that was put into it from Oli Sykes and the rest of the band for that record. It stands the test of time, and it's going to continue to stand the test of time.
That's for sure my favorite band, dude. And just a story for like, if anyone listens to this who's like an OG fan of Bring Me or a Skylit Drive, they played at the Boardwalk one time in Orangevale, California, which is a suburb of Sacramento, which is where we all live, right? And I almost live in Orangevale, I'm like a block away, but they were playing, and Corey, our drummer, Corey LeQuay, went to the show, and he was talking to the band, and he was like, "You want to stay at my house? Whatever, but you guys need a place to stay." So he used to have Bring Me the Horizon stay at his house whenever they played in Sacramento. And Oli Sykes also at the time, who stayed at Corey's house, he helped me with my senior project with Kyle Simmons, our old keyboard player in high school. We did a electronic record, and he would send us like little samples and shit when he was like, he had to be 18. We were 17. I think he's a year older than me. I think he's like 87. And I remember meeting him at Warp Tour in like 2008 or 9, whichever one they were on first, you know. And I had my ex-girlfriend with me at the time, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's Oli Sykes." And I went up and talked to him, you know. I was like, "What's up, bro?" And he looked at me and he was all, "Oh, you're in the band with Corey LeQuay." And I was like, "How?" He's all, "Corey was so nice. He used to let us stay at his house like 5-6 years ago, bro. He used to give me apples." And I was like, "What the fuck? This is so weird, you know?" He was a sweetheart. I've met Oli Sykes a ton of times throughout my life. Always a nice guy. His dad actually was running Drop Dead Clothing in 2009 Warp Tour, and we shared a bus with Drop Dead Clothing. So we shared a bus with Ollie's dad and a few of his friends. And I'm telling you right now, dude, Ian Sykes, that dude, he was probably about 50 years old at the time, right? Maybe 45, 50, somewhere around there. That motherfucker partied so fucking hard that like me and Nick, who are like notorious fucking ragers, could barely keep up with Ian Sykes, dude. Like it'd be like 4 a.m, dude, and he'd be like in his underwear, fucking screaming at us, taking shots and shit still. And I'd be like, "Ian, no more, bro. Come on," you know? And I was like, "Does Ollie party like this?" And he was all, "Yes." And he's all, "You should see his fucking mother." He's all, "She goes harder than all of us." And I was like, "Oh my God, dude. Oh my God." But Oli Sykes, definitely a big place in my heart. His dad, even a bigger place in my heart because I love his dad so much. And I met him at a show in San Francisco a couple years back again. And I told him like what band I was in and told him to tell his dad I said hi and stuff, you know, and he was super respectful. He was like, "My dad fucking loves you guys, man." He always talks about Skylit Drive. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, thanks, dude." You know, it was like really like, I don't know, it's just cool because they're one of my favorite bands and we grew up at the same time. So it's nice to see a band that really, really made it and they still remember everyone else who fucking was with them at the time or whatever, you know?
Okay, that you've told some ridiculous stories on this episode.
Yeah.
That one absolutely takes the cake of
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Ian Sykes being an insane partier.
Oh, dude. I saw him fall out of a bus in his underwear, bro. When I picked him up, he tried to kiss me. I was like, "Let's go, baby. Come on." Hey, he fucking parties and I love him. No disrespect for these stories if anyone hears it who know them what I'm saying, but I'm just saying he was a blessing to me to be around and one of the nicest guys I ever met. And I appreciate every second I spent with that guy for sure.
Oh my God. Okay, Joey, I'm going to say this. I'm going to remember this podcast for a long time with just these stories. Like internally, I'm like, I was laughing on these. I'm like, internally, I'm laughing even harder. So I'm still laughing at some of these. The Dee Snider one. The fact that Jonny Craig like did vocals for you and you guys outsold everyone during those shows. The fact that Craig Mabbitt called the wrong Joey.
Dude.
And now this with the Sykes family. I'm just like, my God. I've heard some crazy stories in the podcast. Modern Day Escape is like the number one, and you're like challenging them right now for the one that's just the
Modern Day Escape can fucking suck it, bro. I'm just kidding. I love them. I love them. I've known them since day one, bro. I've known them since day one for sure.
And now you guys will be playing the exact same day as them and When We Were Hungry, which is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
So one last question regarding When We Were Hungry before we close this out, which is, with you guys playing, can we expect anything interesting, crazy from you guys during the show? Anything that might be like, okay, if you're going to this show, if you're going to be at When We Were Hungry, you're going to want to see the original A.S.D because of this. If you're not going to the show right now, go get tickets because this is why you want to go. So you guys got anything crazy planned for us?
Oh, I mean, yeah, there definitely is, bro. I can't give away the spoilers, but like, just wait for like the very last song. It's like all you got to worry about. So wait for the last song or the first song. We can't figure out yet where to put it, you know? But so you basically got to stay from the beginning of the set till the end of the fucking set to figure out what I'm talking about. So that's your only clue.
Well, I was already going to be there for the whole entire set, but now it's just like you're making me just even more anxious for this.
If you don't watch us for the whole set, you can just not watch us at all, bro. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be there. You got to be there, bro. It's the full experience. It's a 15-year reunion. It's an experience, dude. It's like accepting Buddhism or Christianity. You got to really like just engulf yourself in it, you know? And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, the only way I'm going to potentially miss that crazy experience is if all of a sudden you guys do something crazy on stage and I'm not looking because I'm throwing my shoulder into someone having an absolute fucking blast.
Dude, well, if that happens, bro, then you have an excuse. You're okay. If you get hurt, you hurt someone else. If you hurt someone else, you better keep going. Make sure they're okay. Keep rocking. If you hurt yourself, go get checked. Come right back. You know?
Oh, that happened to me at a show 2 days before we recorded this. I got hit in the head, and where is it? Is it this one?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, a little
orbital fracture. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it happened. I'm like, damn it! I still had one of those like neck gaiter face masks in my pocket, so I just like rolled it up and like put it over my eye. I'm just like, okay, we're good.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I'm gonna have that ready for When We Were Hungry because in case something like this happens again, I'm like, I'm not letting go of this. I'm gonna put it over. Okay, and all of a sudden, try and get the other above the other eyebrow. You know, symmetry.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
okay, sorry, my mom keeps calling me, dude. I gotta keep hitting no. I'm like, Mom, stop texting me right now. Fuck. I'm in the middle of some shit, Mom. Come on.
God, Mom. I'm doing something, Mom. You don't understand.
The meatloaf, dude.
We need it now. I never know.
I know, dude. Never know what she's doing back there.
Well, with you saying that, man, I mean, if you guys don't have your tickets from We Were Hungry yet, get your tickets. If you have your tickets from We Were Hungry, make sure that you circle original A.S.D on that like lineup sheet and make sure you go see them live because you're not gonna want to miss out on this shit.
Yeah, we'll probably go the hardest out of any band. So namaste, you know?
Namaste.
We'll be all right.
As we bring this podcast to its conclusion, one thing I would like to do is give you a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, promote whatever you want to promote at the end of the podcast. So Joey, floor is yours.
All right. Well, I'm in A.S.D. We have some shows coming up. I would say go check out our Facebook, which is original A.S.D. with some dots in between it here. Our next show is in Reno coming up in 2 weeks on Saturday. Go look at that. And obviously I want to plug the When We Were Hungry Festival because it's a big one for us. It's Secondhand Serenade, Every Avenue, Hello Goodbye, Alisana, The Hired, just super sick bands. And I think that I don't know. We love you guys. And I think that if you want to reach out to us and talk to us, go ahead and do it because we're all super social people. We love interacting with fans. And that's all. Just come say hi. We'll figure it out from there.
We'll figure it out from there. Perfectly said. Now, Joey, it's time for me to end this podcast on 3 very specific things. First things first. When it comes to finding original A.S.D online, so you want to find the original A.S.D. Let me reiterate, the original A.S.D. Now, I know, you got to make sure, you find the right one. So
Yeah.
you might have some trouble looking this stuff up, but let me take all the worry out for that for you. So all you're going to have to do is go to the description of the podcast, say find the original A.S.D. online. You're going to see links for everything for original A.S.D. and the labels for you can find them. So all you have to do is go click those links, go like their stuff, follow their stuff, make sure you get those tickets for When We Were Hungry and for that show in Reno and whatever other shows they might be coming out with. And so that you're, in the know when all of a sudden this new music starts dropping, so you can, go out, get those Depends on and just get ready to just,
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Lose your shit.
Yeah, right. Our Instagram is at She Watched the Sky, our first record that fucking slays basically everything on earth. So check that shit out.
Oh, the Instagram's going to be added as well, so you guys know exactly which is the correct band to go and follow for this.
We're the only band, brother. Fucking hail Satan.
Hail Satan. You gotta act like the Woodland Critters on that one.
Hail Satan, Mom. Okay.
All right, now it's time for number 2. Joy, whenever I guest in the podcast, I enjoy having on the podcast. I always tend to make a certain promise with them as a way to say, thank you for being on the podcast. Another way to say, I want to continue to support the band. And also, again, thank you. So this happens every time I enjoy having a guest in the podcast. This has happened every time I've had a guest in the podcast. And there is no way in hell that, you're breaking this streak. So normally I don't start out with if, I start out with when for this promise. However, I can actually start out by saying at When We Were Hungry Festival, because I'm going to be there for both days. At When We Were Hungry Festival, I'm going to get to see you perform live for the first time for myself. And when I do that, my promise to you, sir, is this. First round's on me.
Yeah, dude. Second's on me, bro. Third's on you. Let's keep going.
Fourth
on fifth. We'll go all night, brother.
I'm pretty sure what might end up happening is we might relive that Vegas story, and all of a sudden we're both gonna be in random hotel rooms, door wide open, plus naked on the
fucking clothes down on the floor. I hope we're not both naked in bed together, but I'm not gonna rule out anything. I won't rule out anything.
We'll probably be in different rooms at that point, or or
maybe 2 twin beds, both laid out. Yeah, that's okay too.
Wake up and all of a sudden look over and be like, did we just?
And they're all the bus is right behind us. Yeah, I know.
Bus is right behind us. All of a sudden, wallet's missing, phone's missing. My get out of jail free card though is still in my pocket from a Monopoly game. We're set. We'll be fine with that.
That's how we roll, right?
That's how we roll. So Joey, number 3 is I can't end this podcast by saying goodbye because this was so much fun. When new music comes out, I would love to have you back on the podcast again to talk all about it, to potentially lose my shit on it, and we'll probably lose my shit on it. And because I'm going to be seeing you when We Were Hungry. First round's on me, so I can't end this by saying goodbye. Hell no. This is going to end with, I'll see you later.
I'll see you soon, brother. All right, man.
Well, folks, that was my interview with Joey from the original A.S.D. And yes, they're playing We Were Hungry Festival Day 2. You're not going to want to miss out on it. You're going to want to make sure you get those tickets for it. You're also going to make sure you follow along with everything from the original A.S.D. And yes, we know that there is the other one that's out there, but we're going to be in, take a look at the description of the podcast. Say, find original A.S.D. online. You're going to get the links and the labels for everything so you can go follow along with the right one, the only one, the correct one. Oh, yeah, you're going to be able to do that really easily by doing that. Also, make sure, you follow along when new music comes out and when those tickets for more shows are going to be available. Oh, yeah, you can also go down to the description of the podcast and follow along with us on the Chord Progression Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for all your social media pleasure from the podcast when it comes to random, wacky, short videos, when it comes to crazy promotional videos, and just any other things that we come up with that, are fun for the podcast. You're not going to miss out on it. Any kind of new music that's coming out or any kind of fun bands we're having the podcast, that's when you find out about it first. On top of that, you can subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, or you can subscribe Spotify, Podcasts, iHeart Radio, and Amazon, or any other place that you'll be able to subscribe to because, well, I know there are a lot of places. I actually don't know all of them. If you already subscribed to the podcast, thank you. Seriously, thank you. This, I love doing this too much. There's no stopping me on this one. On top of that, if you're just subscribing to the podcast now, welcome. And thank you for subscribing. Oh, yeah. If you're like, I like this episode, this was fun, but I really don't want to subscribe, can you please reconsider and subscribe? If not, I totally understand. Thank you for stopping by anyway. We would love to have you back enjoying a podcast again in the future from us. I do want to thank our sponsors once again. First off, Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use code CPP at manscaped.com at checkout. And remember, we get those tickets for the When We Were Hungry Music Festival, October 20th to 21st in Las Vegas, Nevada. Memes and Dreams, Pancakes the Pit, and see the original A.S.D. Blow your minds. Thanks for being on the podcast, Joey. Let's rage on October and When We Were Hungry. Can't wait. And first round's on me. On that note, that's going to be for me, guys. Thank you for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one with a big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!